So today we're going to install a custom ROM on the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime, and the main reason I want to do that is because this phone is actually pretty good despite how old it is. The only real problem this phone has is that it got like one update to Android 5 and that's it, so let's check out XDA and see how far we can push this. Now let me preface this by saying I have a bit of a history when it comes to modding Samsung phones. 9 times out of 10 it just goes terribly wrong. I really hope I didn't just jinx myself, but you know, let's find out. Oh yeah, side note, but isn't it kind of funny how the best Windows laptop is a Mac? Alright, cool. Now that I said that, do yourself a favor and go and check out the comments and just see everybody in there losing their minds. Okay, so let's do Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime, and wait, actually, what model is this? SMG 530p. Yeah, the P in that stands for Sprint, so we might have a bit of an issue finding a compatible custom ROM, but I mean, hey, I do see like a custom version for TWRP here, so good start. And while we're here, we may as well just save ourselves some time and download the file. We're making some pretty good progress. We've got the bootloader unlocked, we've got TWRP downloaded now, we just gotta find a ROM for this thing. Alright, we've got CR Droid, we've got Lineage OS 18.1 Go. That's pretty cool. I had no idea Lineage OS came in a Go fork. I kinda wanna try that, but is there anything like One UI over here? Ooh, okay, here we go. With Ultima, the coolest One UI ROM. Ultima is a TouchWiz based ROM that okay, you know what, dude, you already sold me on it. Where's the download link? Ooh, this will be fun to test out after Lineage OS. But even as cool as Ultima is, you know, being skinned after One UI and all, it's still Android 5 under the hood, so I definitely want to take a look at Lineage OS 18 first. If your device variant is not listed in the first post, then it is not supported, and... okay, great. I'm not seeing the Sprint one in here. I mean, realistically though, just take a look at how many models are supported. It's gotta work, right? Oh, wait a sec, yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all ROM, we gotta pick a model. You know, we gotta boot the Samsung phone into download mode anyway to like flash TWRP and stuff, so why don't we do that to try to figure out what model this is. Press power, home, and volume down keys. And awesome, that was no help whatsoever. I checked Google and it's saying that this is filed under G Prime LTE, so we should just be able to download that file, right? Let's hope it works. Alright, I think that's enough for the prep work. We've got every file we want downloaded on the computer, now we just gotta flash the thing. Yeah, here's where everything starts to go wrong, doesn't it? We throw TWRP in there, hit start, and hey, it actually worked. Now we gotta enter recovery mode by doing volume up, home, and power. Wait, what? This isn't TWRP. You know what happened? I forgot to check auto reboot in Odin and it like overwrote it. Let's do it one more time. There we go. Head into recovery one more time. Okay, that's cool. Apparently the phone's boot looping now. I get a message in the corner saying set warranty bit, and it refuses to boot into it. I mean, to be fair, that TWRP file was from like 2017, so maybe there's like a more modern one on XDA. This is a bit of a rabbit hole, but I found this post right here, and there's like a link to a GitHub repo. So I went through that repo to the releases tab, filtered by the name of the device, and I found a bunch of results. And one of the results here is TWRP 3.2.3 from 2018. So I guess we'll flash this and see if this works. Really? Same exact issue? You know, I thought I flashed it correctly by checking auto reboot, but we're gonna try one more time. This time I'm gonna yank the battery out and then go straight into recovery mode, and hopefully that fixes it. Alright, we flashed it, yanked the battery out, put the battery back in, power, volume up, home button. God damn it. I can't even get TWRP to boot on this thing. Normally on Android devices, you can use like fast boot, right, and just boot into the file, but because Samsung loves to be different and fun, we've got download mode, so yeah, that's not happening. Okay, so the newest version of TWRP won't work. We've got the second newest version, that won't work either, so maybe the oldest one on this website will work? It's not even a 0.1 version difference, but you know, whatever, I'm kind of stuck here, so may as well give it a shot. Okay, yep, same exact error. I think we're just gonna have to find a different recovery, so I was checking this one out on SourceForge, and I found Lineage OS recovery, so I guess we'll try that. It's always f***ing something with the Samsung phone, I swear. Okay, why? Why won't this work? I'm doing everything correct. Okay, I'm pretty much at a dead end with this device, so it's time to call in some external help. I had this guy reach out to me via email, and I started chatting with him in Discord to explain my problem, and he did suggest these two files, which I already flashed, so they didn't work, but there's this new file, so let's see what happens. I mean, I've tried everything at this point, there's no way this works. Oh, okay, it hasn't rebooted yet. Did this actually fix our issue? Of course it did. Okay, so that's the biggest problem solved so far. I don't know if the ROMs are gonna boot, but now that we've got this fixed, I've got one question. What the hell is wrong with the TWRP website? The official TWRP website, the first thing that appears on Google for this phone, both of these just are non-functional. But this random fork of TWRP specifically made for Lineage OS 14.1 fixes our entire issues, so if you want to download it for yourself, it's going to be in the description on Google Drive. Okay, so we're booted into TWRP, now we just have to install the custom ROM. Let's head to wipe, format data, type in yes. Alright, then let's wipe all these partitions. And now that we have all the stuff on the phone wiped, let's try to see if we can flash Lineage OS this thing. And for some reason, ADB isn't finding the phone, so, you know, we'll just take the SD card out of the phone and, like, sideload it that way. Okay, so one of two things is gonna happen. Either this installs without a hitch and we get to play with our phone, or, you know, B, this just gets stuck, we get a train wreck and we gotta spend another 5 hours fixing it. Okay, so you remember that thing we read where it didn't specify that the Sprint model was supported? Yeah, that's what's blocking our install right now, so I guess we gotta find a way to bypass that, maybe. Okay, so let's extract this file. Gotta be honest, it's kind of weird to dig through the files of a custom ROM and just see how it works. Alright, we've got a updater script, that might help. Ooh, I think we hit the jackpot with this updater script file, because this seems like the exact same error we just got. Okay, so I'm hoping it's easy as just copying this, then we just replace the end of this with SPR. And I mean, I guess that looks good, so we'll save this, minimize the file, and see what else we need to change. And I did find one more file of interest, metadata, and there's like a bunch of device lists in here, so we may as well add it to here as well. Alright, now we just zip this up, boot, and see if it works. And we get nothing. Dude, I tried to patch this a total of 3 times, and I'm not getting anywhere, so we just gotta find something else to install. Alright, it is now 1 day later, and I've gotten absolutely nowhere with that custom ROM. So I searched online, did a bunch of digging, and I did find EOS that was actually flashable onto the Sprint variant for this phone. And to my surprise, that build of EOS is actually Android 11, so we're pretty much gonna get the same experience as Lineage OS. Kind of a side note here, but I should really learn how to compile my own custom ROM so I don't have to deal with this problem in the future. I have no idea how many times I've said it, but I hope now, finally, this stupid custom ROM will install. Fuck! This package is for device G Prime LTE SPR. This device is dot. What? Okay, this means the installation script can't find your device model, and we can fix it by doing, oh, in the terminal set prop. Okay, that might work. Alright, so let's punch this in the terminal. Yep, okay. You know, in my troubleshooting inside of Odin, I did like wipe NAND, so that might actually be the issue here, why it can't find what device this is, so... Okay, it's always f***ing something with these Samsung phones, but I'm gonna head to Sam firmware, right? I'm gonna download the original firmware for the Sprint model, reflash it, and then hopefully reinstall TWRP, do this all over again, and maybe then it'll want to work. Okay, we got the phone in download mode, we got all the files here, we go into Odin, put all them in the partitions. You know what's weird? I don't even know what these partition acronyms stand for. I guess BL is bootloader, AP is asset protection, and CP is oh, okay, no, I'm done. This time I'll leave on auto reboot just because we're already overwriting TWRPs. So yeah, let's just start flashing. Okay, 5 minutes later we got that done with. And now it's back into download mode for TWRP. Okay, we got that flash, take the battery out again. Okay, and now we're just gonna pray that the image installs, because I've tried pretty much everything at this point. At this point, I think the only fix is to somehow figure out how to use 7-zip to not extract the ROM, but edit it within 7-zip, and we can't really extract it and remove that line of code to force it to install, because then it just gives me the zip file error. So is there some sort of edit function inside of 7-zip? Open archive. Okay, so inside here, meta, com. Alright, so inside here we head to Google, Android, and then yeah, it's the updater script. This is the file that's messing us up, and oh, you know what, there's an edit button right here. Alright, so let's select all of this, just get rid of all of that. Then we're gonna save this. File update, oh, do you want to update it in the archive? Yes. Okay, and that shouldn't affect the zip file, so I guess we'll try to flash that, see if it works. I've been pretty much throwing shit at the wall for a day and a half now, so I really hope this works. No way! That was the fix the entire time? Okay, as much of a pain in the ass that was, at least I know that for the future. We can just use 7-zip, edit the file itself, get rid of that line of text, and we can install the ROM on any phone we want. I mean, come to think of it, I should have done that for Lineage OS, but this is made for the Sprint model, so I'll just stick with this. And after letting it finish, the script succeeded, so now it's time for the big question. Will it actually boot, into the system itself? Yes! Yes! Let's go! Okay, we finally have a custom ROM booting on this thing. Now, usually I use Lineage OS, so just take a look at this fun bouncing animation. I'm actually kind of excited to explore this OS. and after waiting 5 minutes for it to boot, here we are. Now, TouchWiz on Android 5 was already kind of laggy, so I have no idea how the performance on Android 11 is gonna be. Wait a sec, what? The limited connection? Okay, I guess we'll just fix that later, that's weird. Update oh, please don't touch the recovery. And that's it for setup. This feels like just yet an exact carbon copy of iOS. So do we swipe up for Control Center, or is that in the notification? Okay, so this is just still standard Android 11. Oh, and it seems like the Wi-Fi fixed itself. I'm actually really happy I installed this over Lineage OS because this is going to be really fun to explore. I guess we'll just start off with settings. Oh, okay. It really only seems like they copy iOS in the home menu. Here it just feels like standard Android. Is there like a panel for ROM-specific features, or I guess in system? Micro G. Oh, that's pretty cool. This is Micro G pre-installed. If you're not aware what Micro G is, it's like a free and open source re-implementation of the Google Play services to like be a bit light on your phone, along with the obvious benefit of giving you just a bit more privacy. So it's really cool to see that pre-installed on this, but what else do we got? Display. Dark theme. Oh, you know, that's pretty cool. They got dark mode on this thing, and wait a second. Yeah, that switches straight from iOS. Brightness level 0%. Is that broken? Oh, never mind, just needed to be tweaked, I guess. We've got the standard Android privacy, but we've also got advanced privacy. Wonder what that does. Oh, okay, it just crashes settings? Thanks. I'm not really seeing anything else inside of settings that really stands out to me, so now I guess we'll just like take a look at what's pre-installed on the phone. Is there a way to bring up like the app library, or... Oh, you know what? It's doing the iPhone thing, like the old iPhone thing where all the apps had to be on the home screen. Let me guess, every single one of these that I open is gonna look exactly like iOS, right? Oh, okay, that's just a stock Android keyboard. Calendar? Did they change this? No? Okay. Yeah, clock's also the AOSP one, so I guess the only, like, iOS element of this is just the home screen, so I guess that's cool. Did they change the lock screen at all? Oh, no, yeah, just still stock Android. Wait a second, do we even have a web browser on this thing? Nope, that's the photo app, but I guess I gotta sideload a web browser. Now, the Grand Prime is obviously an older phone, so I'm gonna be using Via Browser. Wow, only 4 megabytes. That's pretty impressive. Cool, now we can browse the web on this thing. Now, on the Grand Prime's original stock firmware, a bunch of apps weren't supported, mainly because it was stuck on Android 5, so I want to see if it works now. Damn, you know, for as low power as this phone is, I gotta admit, the Via Browser, seriously impressive performance from it. And right now I'm gonna log in using Anonymous, but because we have Micro G installed, if we wanted to, we could actually log in using Google. From here, I'm gonna install some mobile games I want to try out, like Clash Royale and Roblox. And I wanted to install Geekbench, but yeah, you see that V0 there? It means our device isn't supported, so we gotta like find the APK manually and sideload it. And with every app I wanted to test out installed, I ran a Geekbench test and we got 85 over 303. For comparison, this $100 Android dumb flip phone got 89 over 291 on a custom ROM, so yeah, I wouldn't really consider this daily driver worthy. But what's really important here is just the app compatibility and getting them working, so let's see if Clash Royale boots. Okay, 10 seconds, not seeing anything. It's not really looking that good. Oh, okay, yeah, so Clash Royale just doesn't work at all. So if Clash Royale performs like that, Roblox is just gonna blow up. Wait, what? Is the game's actually loading? Alright, shoot, I guess I'll try to sign in. We're actually getting farther than I expected. I was able to log in, but can we play like Natural Disaster Survival? It's gonna crash, there's no way. How? What? How is the game playable? To my absolute shock, Natural Disaster Survival loads up perfectly fine on this phone, and it's actually a playable frame rate. I have no idea how this is even working, because this phone in Geekbench, it got a worse score than this thing. Damn, I guess don't judge a book by its cover. Next up, I want to take a look at that One UI styled ROM on Android 5. Now, based on our initial suffering, I know it's not going to install without a problem, so we got to modify it on the files. Whoa, what's going on here? I guess we can just ignore it and head into this. Okay, and we're looking for a line that says assert. Oh, okay, does that mean it'll install without a problem? Oh, that's pretty neat, yeah, it just installs without any edits needed. Samsung, oh, okay, this must be the One UI theme that they were advertising. It's not really that convincing though, because when you zoom into the logo, you can just see the pixels. I gave the phone a bit of time to boot up, and now we're just stuck at this black screen, but it's not your normal black screen, because whenever I hit the home button, it like turns on, the screen turns on, but I'm not seeing anything here, so I think the ROM is just busted. Yeah, I'm browsing through XDA and I'm not really finding anything interesting, so you know what, why don't we just like edit that Lineage OS file and try to get it to boot this way. I find it kind of funny how earlier in the video I said, oh, I did everything I could, but in reality this is all I had to do, just play with 7-zip. Now Lineage OS wants to install. Let's see if it boots. And it does, so yeah, that's pretty interesting. If you've got like a certain device variant that isn't compiled for, just edit that out and you're good. And here we are, Lineage OS 18.1 Go. Now, one thing that kind of strikes me as odd is that when you flash like a different device variant, they're talking about like, oh, the baseband or the broadband, whatever you call it, the Wi-Fi chip inside this thing doesn't work because it's not compiled for this device, but yeah, I'm able to get an internet connection just fine. And of course, no disrespect to the EOS ROM guys, but when you ask me personally, I just prefer stock Android. On EOS, with like all those customizations and the iOS stuff in Micro G, we got 85/303, and on here, we got a 85/305, so really it's just up to your preference which one you want to install. I think that's a good enough look at custom ROMs for the Galaxy Grand Prime, or, you know, at least the Sprint model, because if I have to make one more stupid ROM work on this thing and spend another couple hours on it, I'm gonna lose my mind. But at least all that effort didn't go to waste, because now I know that cool trick was 7-zip. But, you know, anyways, thanks for watching, and let me know down in the comments, what other devices do you want me to install a custom ROM on next? You know, I should probably get around to the LG G5, that one I've been kind of neglecting. Alright, I'll see you later.